kind of, Tony, how big was that moment for your club when KT got a hold of that one, and how nice was it to see him do it after some Friday struggles?
Yeah, no, it was a good adjustment by him. Coach E got him in the cage and kind of kept his direction going in the right way. He's like all of them, not just the players on our team. College baseball has grown into this amazing thing, and all these guys have all this energy bottled up, and they want to kind of come out of the gates and do big things. And with that, you see some guys kind of getting outside of themselves a little bit. But I think that kind of kept him centered. And that moment really kind of encapsulated everything we wanted today to be about. It was 1-1 going into Sunday. You want to come out with a series win. And then also anytime you lose or take one on the chin, you want to respond the right way. And he responded after we took one on the chin and we're down 2-0 after losing last night. And again, you saw his preparation and his focus like a lot of the other guys, ready to go. I mean, I'm rambling, but I'm just kind of going over the weekend in my head. It was very obvious what our team's approach was before the game Friday. Saturday, I wasn't quite sure what was going on, and maybe I was overthinking it, but it was a different vibe from our guys. And then today, I wasn't sure how it was going to go because they seemed angry a little bit and determined, I guess, now that I see how we played. But they didn't like that last night went on. I didn't either. And they came out and responded the right way.
Wasn't the best start, but it was a really good outing there for Nate Snead. Even getting out of trouble there in the seventh. What do you see from him from your vantage point?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't say this facetiously. I mean, any start, obviously Xander goes out and throws the first pitch of the game. Any start where you can at least calm the storm a little bit and have a chance to win. And some games are 2-1, some games are 10-9, and without KT's blast, it's not so good for Xander. But he gets us a few outs, and every out's important, especially on Sunday. You saw that with how long the games were going today. But then Nate Snead came in and did incredibly well, and he did what you do. That was the message I got was you should have put me in the game last night, and that's what you do as a young athlete is you control what you can control. When you get your opportunity, you put your best foot forward, and I think he and Stamos did that. I mean, Stamos made a record-setting play last night, and we decided to go to the back end of the game with our guy, and maybe we did that a little too early too. Stom was the same way, had a little more conviction to him today, and that's a good sign for both of those guys, and ultimately for us that we get to use them.
What makes Billy such a good hitter?
He's really strong, first of all. Reminded us when we were recruiting him of Trevor Story, who's from this area, and it took Trevor a while having seen him, to get as physical as Billy is right now. And I mentioned earlier in one interview or another, Q and he got hooked up, and he's really taken well to his conditioning, and I think it's affecting his defensive base running as much as the hitting, but he's always hit. I think what my comment was, I was glad he's wearing our color orange, and that's no disrespect to anybody. I mean, we're fortunate to have him, but when we saw him across the way, we didn't, and scouting him, we weren't very comfortable when he was in the box. So he's someone who's always hit, but he seems to be progressing in a lot of areas, and that includes hitting.
What did you see from Simo defensively this weekend, and do you feel like it was a statement weekend as maybe y'all get some guys back in the mix for him to maybe stay at shortstop? Yeah,
I think he's matured a lot since his first day on our campus, and I think that applies to a lot of different ways, but one is in accepting the fact he'll do whatever he's got to do to help the team, and I still think he's going to play a variety of positions before the end of the year is over with. But I think more than anything, he's a guy who thrives under a challenge. If it's easy, you kind of lose him a little bit attention span-wise, but if it's an important topic you're discussing or it's a true challenge, regardless of what it is, that's when you got his full focus, and I think he just wanted to come out and have a good weekend. He knows he's not hiding anymore. He's a junior. And like a few other guys, Billy included, this is his team. And I think he's taken pride in whatever he's doing out there. Had a really good weekend all around. I think he could have scored on a pass ball. Other than that, I don't know that he did much wrong up there. You see some good pitching. You're not going to get a hit every time up.
What went into the decision to move Dreiling up to the 2 spot, maybe Burke down, and just kind of trying to find the best order for your guys?
Yeah, and we've tried that lineup with Dreiling in the 2-hole a little bit, and he's always aggressive at the plate and swinging the bat, and Burke's probably been over-aggressive. And I think sometimes guys look for that permission to be confident or that permission to relax and play a little bit. And last year he took the world by storm coming out of the gates. That's Blake Burke I'm referring to. And then today he gets a kind of a flare, strange hit to left field, whatever you want to call it. But then the next at bat, he looked more relaxed than he'd been the whole year. And I think, if I'm guessing right, I think it was a byproduct of that. So just to kind of, be honest with you, backtracking to being in the hotel room, make him and Peeves a little angry. Because anybody could raise their hand and say, I deserve to be 2, 3, or 4 or up in the top half of the order, but maybe get their attention a little bit. And whatever it was, I think both those guys were pretty focused, and we were really good 1 through 9 today.
What did you see from Xander in those first 2 innings?
A couple times with 2 strikes, maybe being too fine or trying to strike a guy out. Baylor's like us. I mean, they were taking really good swings too. It's the last day. You don't want to leave anything on the table, and he left a couple pitches that, not only were middle of the plate, but a couple of them were bleeding back into righties, and these guys aren't going to miss. I mean, they took really good swings off Nate Snead, and that's probably as good as Snead's pitched. I mean, he can throw the thing up to 100, but that's as good as he's pitched, and they put good swings on him. It's just, he was really, really good, and we made a couple plays behind him as well.